This is Broken Neck Radio, metal that makes you want to break shit.
Hello everybody, this is Max Cavalera, Soulfly. You listen to Broken Neck Radio. Stay metal, motherfuckers.
Hello listeners, this is Zang here, and I've got with me, this man here needs no introduction. I have Mr. Max fucking Cavalera here. How you doing, Max?
I like the fucking part.
Well, in most of the metal forums we see, you're mostly referred to as Max fucking Cavalera, so maybe you should even think about maybe changing your middle name.
Yeah. Max fuck shit up Cavalera.
Well, thanks for taking the time to sit out here and hanging out with us here in lovely Victoria, British Columbia.
Yeah.
My first question actually is, back when you and your brother first formed Sepultura, he was quoted as saying there's Venom being a huge influence during that time when you guys first started.
Yeah.
That influence, that change in influence with Venom, does that still carry over today with all your writing, with all the projects that you're working on now?
Yeah, I still love, the classic Venom stuff, black metal, At War with Satan, I actually love At War with Satan. I think it's brilliant. The song being like 19 minutes, never heard anything like that before, it was very original when that came out. And, I love a lot of the death thrash that came out at that time, it's Creator, Celtic Frost, Battery, and then of course the death metal, Death, Morbid Angel, Deicide and Obituary, and then of course grindcore came after that, Napalm Death, Carcass, Bow Thrower, Entombed, and that's just from the old school. That's without saying the new school of stuff that I listen to, So, but yeah, I'm a big metal supporter. Sepultura actually got to open for Venom in Brazil in I don't even remember the year. I think it was 86.
I think you're right, 86.
I think it was around 86. We had a great show, We didn't get to meet them, but it was fun to play with them. They were loud, real loud, and I'm doing this thing called Metal All Stars in Europe. I did one already. I think the next one, Corona, is going to be on it, so I'm excited to meet him for the first time.
Do you find that now, being so far along in your career, and you have these other up-and-coming bands coming to you and looking to you as an influence, does that sometimes, when you see their awe, when they're meeting you or even playing with you on stage, do you sometimes reflect back to that time when you played with Venom, with Venom being such a big influence?
Yeah, it's I'm excited. I love listening to new bands, actually get in touch with them and getting to exchange information and T-shirts and tell them that I'm a fan of theirs, because I love the music. I love metal. So stuff like Aborted and Nails and Noisem, Full of Hell. Even like darker stuff like Anal, Nectrat and Belphegor. I love that kind of stuff too, and I listen to all kind, but mostly metal. That's my thing. That's really what I love, and that's what's on my iPod. And the new Goat Whore is awesome.
Oh, yes,
it's great record. The new Ratchet is great. So I keep an eye open for what's going on. I sing on the new Acacia Strain that's coming out. They're part of some of the newer bands that I like Whitechapel and Suicide Silence and stuff. I like that stuff too,
Now, back in 2007, you started again with your brother, and you guys created Inflicted, which of course changed to Cavalera Conspiracy. Do you find that some of the driving force working with your brother again with Cavalera Conspiracy, does some of your old, when you guys worked together forming Sepultura, do you find some of that, the chemistry between you and your brothers, it's still carrying over with what you're putting out with Cavalera Conspiracy?
Oh yeah, it's even better because now we're more mature and we don't take nothing for granted. We know our time in this earth is limited, and we look at stuff like Dimebag that passed away, and it's sad. And I look at stuff like that, and I really treasure my time with Igor now more than I did back in Sepultura. Sepultura days was really chaotic, and I didn't actually get to enjoy that too much. Especially when Roots came out, the band got really popular, and I didn't like that time of my life. For me, it wasn't enjoyable, especially in Brazil. became kind of like the Beatles. You couldn't go out on the street, couldn't go to the supermarket. I really didn't like that kind of life. It's not really for me. I rather more kind of connected more to the underground kind of person. And so now what I do, the proposition of Cavalera was just to have fun. The brothers united. We're brothers again. We're talking again. Let's play some music again, and let's. So we created Cavalera for that reason, and it's just really metal. Just the brothers playing metal. That's the essence of it, pretty much. It's just me and Igor bashing metal like we were when we were teenagers. That's the concept of it. Very, very, very simple. There's no complication. There's nothing complicated about Cavalera Conspiracy. We don't even welcome other kinds of music. It's kind of a racist project. Like other forms of music are not welcome in the Cavalera world. It's really more metal than anything else that I do.
I can see the brother chemistry a lot in the for example, in the song Blood Brawl, where you've got your portion, and then when the beat drops, and then you can hear your brothers on the drums.
Yeah.
You can really hear the chemistry between you two on that song. Now you also started another project actually, which just self-released, and that was of course Killer Be Killed. And I noticed that through the media and whatnot, they've kind of labeled you guys like a super group. In your opinion, would you consider Killer Be Killed a super group?
Well, that's what they're using, the term they're using, and I mean, it applies to it because we're all in successful bands, I'm in Soulfly and Cavalera, and Troy's in Mastodon. They're a Grammy winning band, and they're very popular these days. Greg's from the Linger Escape Plan, also from a different form of music, but also very popular in that area. And Dave played with Mars Volta, so we're all big musicians that come from big bands, and I guess it's okay to call it super group. It doesn't bother me, I don't care for labels. I never really care for the label. I care for the music, and I like the music. I think the Killer Be Killed record is great. It's fun, it's a fun record. It's fun to listen to. It was fun to record it. I had fun doing it. I really like the guys I play with because I love Mastodon. I love the Linger Escape Plan. And it was an honor to share this group with them. And even though it's just a project, it's a lot like Nail Bomb, so we're not going to do a lot with it. We're just going to tour maybe a little bit next year, and maybe work on another record sometime further down the line. But it's really just more of a project. My touring group is mainly Soulfly and Cavalera.
Now the real reason why we're here, of course, is Soulfly. Soulfly has been around since '97. You've had a few quite a bit of lineup changes, but you guys are still going strong. What would you say is the driving force that's kept you going with Soulfly for so long, even with all those lineup changes? Because some bands aren't quite as successful as you've been with Soulfly.
Yeah, well, Soulfly is my main thing, man. It's my life. It's not even a job; it's a lifestyle. I love Soulfly. I love what it represents. For me, it was a rebirth when I got to do Soulfly, when I came out of Sepultura, and it was actually the chance to do something new. And I created Soulfly, and it was accepted by the fans, which for me was a big deal. Especially the first record was very important to make the first record the best record possible. And a lot of people refer to that first record as some of their favorite Soulfly stuff. I don't have a favorite one. I enjoy all of them. I just love the fact that we're on the 9th album. Next year is 10th album. So I'm going to try to make something very special for that. It's a big number, 10 records. Not any bands celebrate 10 albums, careers. And so I'm going to try to make something big out of it, try to make a super killer record. And my driving force is the fans, because that's what I do this for. I love hearing that they love the record, that they love the songs, and they want to hear it live, and that's what I do. The live show is all, for me, a band like Soulfly that lives on the tour, lives on the road. It's all about the fans. The show at nighttime is what we live for.
Now, the debut album for Soulfly actually charted, I believe, at about 75 in the Billboard 200 when it came out. How did that feel? You know, obviously you were closing that chapter in your life with Sepultura, and you were opening a new chapter in your life with the beginning of Soulfly. Not very many musicians have that successfulness, you know, going from one successful project, you know, and then beginning another one, and all of a sudden, right off the bat, the debut album is quite successful. How did that feel, you know, as an artist, having that success so early with Soulfly?
It was good, you know, although I don't really pay attention for stuff like Billboard and, you know, I don't care for much for that, you know, that's like, you know, I don't make records for that, you know, that's what I'm trying to say, you know, I make for the fans. My music's for my fans, and if it's successful, great. If it's not, oh well, I still love it, you know. For me, it's kind of like an album. The album was never big, never sold millions of copies, but I'm so proud of it. You know, it's something that I'm very proud of it. I love the integrity and the music in it, you know, and so that's what I do it for. And same goes with awards. Awards are kind of like hemorrhoids. Eventually, every asshole gets one.
Now, speaking of to this tour, actually, you've got also your son. He's a step behind the kit now for Soulfly. He's
Doing
both of them,
duty.
yeah, doing double duty. What we like to call in the metal world, we like to call it, he's pulling a Gary Holt, doing double duty. How does that feel as a dad? You know, your son pulling the double duty.
It's great. It's so much energy. I don't know how he does it. Honestly, I wouldn't. I get tired just watching him. But he does a great job, and Lodi Kong is kicking ass. We're actually, he's making us work hard. I had to tell them to slow down a little bit, you know, leave some for us. But they're doing great, and I'm very proud, man. You know, I'm a proud dad. I love the fact that my kids are into metal and they're making metal music and carrying, you know, my legacy around, and you know, I'm fulfilled, you know, and I love playing with Zion every night. It's a blessing, and really have a very great time with him on the stage, and we work on the songs, and we love what we play. Every song we play, there's not one song I don't know, but you know, every song we play we really like it, and get super excited for the whole thing. And we're gonna work on some other tracks to add on the tour as the tour goes along. But right now we have a really solid set list for tonight. I think people are gonna like it.
Some people may or may not know, but your other son as well is involved in music, and he's actually helped out with, I believe, it was the first track off the most recent album, Savages.
Yeah.
He lent some vocals on that. Is he going to be? You know, I know he's in with Lodi Kong.
Yeah.
And is he going to be, you know, doing some double duty as well in the future?
Oh yeah, you know, we keep them active as much, and I was. The whole Bloodshed thing came about because I had this chorus that sounded like Misfits and old COC. It was like a punk chorus, and I wanted a punk voice. And instead of calling somebody from a punk band, my kid, I knew he could sing like that. You know, he's got a punk voice, so I was like, might as well just call him and let him do it. You know, keep it in the family. So I called him, and he did the chorus of Bloodshed, and all of our kids are involved. Richie got Insight. They got a new album coming out that's really good. And Jason does drum tech for Zion. Mm-hmm. And Rich is here also selling t-shirts. And we're actually going to do Revengeance all together. That is the song that all the family comes on the stage and does it. And I think we're doing it tonight. I hope so.
Now, when the boys were growing up, did you and the wife expect them to be following in the family legacy?
Well, we always hope, but you never know, you know. They've been through phases. There was a phase where Richie was into hip hop, and you know, kind of like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. What, you know, I just want them to be happy, whatever they do. You know, I don't care what it is. I'm glad they're doing music because I love to have them as musicians, and we have a metal family. You know, a full action house full of metal coming from every corner. But if they were doing something else, I still would, you know, back them up, whatever is that they wanted to do it, you know. But I'm glad they're playing metal, you know. It makes me proud and happy, you know.
Now you've toured all over the world in your vast career. Is there any festivals that just that stand out the most?
The last Black Sabbath show we did, the 4th of July, was a great one. Was with Motorhead, Faith No More, Soundgarden, Soulfly, and Black Sabbath. Jimmy Page was walking around and was like, wow, it's not every day that you see Jimmy Page walking around the dressing room area, and that was great. I really like, as far as festival goes, there was a festival in Brazil we did with Rage Against the Machine. 100,000 people, Cavalera played. That was really good too. We headlined the Grass Pop one year with Aerosmith the next day, and Kiss, and Soulfly headline actually, which is crazy for me to think that. I never thought we were gonna headline one of those big festivals, but we did, and we hold our ground. We had a great show. Actually, I'm thinking about putting that on a DVD sometime, because they filmed the whole thing and it's fantastic. It's a great show. So yeah, Hellfest was really good too. We had a great Hellfest show. We played right before Aerosmith again. So yeah, a lot of great shows.
All right, well, thanks again for hanging out with us and chatting. Is there anything you wanted to let the listeners know for the rest of the tour, what to expect from the Soulfly show if they don't already know?
Well, tour is going to carry on. We go back to America and finish the tour, and then I jump on a Cavalera Conspiracy South American tour. The new record is called Pandemonium, coming out in October on Napalm Records. I'm very excited for the new Cavalera album. And then when I come back from that, around December, I start writing for the new Soulfly that is next year, 10th record, the big one. I'm gonna work really hard on that to try to make it as awesome as possible. Try to make the best record I can possibly make, and let's hope for that. But I want to thank all the fans for the great support. I'm very happy to be here. I don't think I played here before. First time, so I'm very excited. It's going to be a great show.
Yes, we're very excited. Club 919 is known to get pretty crazy. We got pretty crazy when we had Napalm here a few years ago, so we're really looking forward to seeing your set tonight. And thanks again for hanging out with you. Again, everybody, this is Max fucking Cavalera for Soulfly.
All right. Take care, brothers.